I am shot in the heart. I'm shot in the gut. I'm gut shot by Shotty. Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer didn't do much of anything but hang with Dak. Dak likes him, so he's the head coach. Jerry likes him because he knows he can run over him, control him, order him around, veto him, put him back in his place.
Skip Bayless goes off on Jerry Jones for hiring Brian Schottenheimer. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
I'm sorry. I was working out. I know it's late Friday night. I'm out here in Los Angeles, but I was working out. Ernestine's waiting for me to eat dinner. Hazel's waiting on me to eat dinner. Working out, lifting weights.
Relax, Skip. It's
and
okay.
The news broke, and it broke me in half. And I just said, I got to get it off my chest. I got to unleash.
Let it out, bro.
My worst nightmare is now my Dallas Cowboy reality. I don't know how much more I can take. Mike McCarthy's best buddy just replaced him as the next Mike McCarthy, quote unquote, head coach of my Dallas Cowboys. Translation, next in line to be Jerry Jones' puppet is Brian Schottenheimer.
I think we all knew this, but we were hoping for Deion Sanders to get the job. But again, you need a do boy in Dallas. You need someone that's going to abide by the Jerry Jones rules. So you got a Brian Schottenheimer there that got a job, probably didn't do much, but he was just there to replace Mike McCarthy if he were to leave. So no surprises there by the Cowboys. But best of luck, Cowboys fans. Stay strong.
I am shot in the heart. I'm shot in the gut. I'm gut shot by Shotty.
Damn.
Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach. If you told me this a week ago, I would have laughed in your face. Brian wait, the guy who was out of work 3 years ago, and Mike McCarthy gave him a gig as the consultant to Mike McCarthy in the offense because he didn't have a job. Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Maybe this was agreed upon when they brought Brian Schottenheimer on there. He was like, yo, if I'm going to be out the door anyways, I might as well put the homie on, give him an opportunity, let him get cool with Jerry Jones. Not sure if they had a relationship prior to Brian joining the staff as a consultant. But again, once you knew Brian Schottenheimer was in the door, that was perfect for Jerry Jones. Let's get him in the mix, let him learn the team from afar, and then we'll fire Mike McCarthy, and this will be your team, Brian. We'll see if he can help them win a Super Bowl. You never know.
The guy who was elevated, promoted to offensive coordinator when Mike McCarthy was the offensive coordinator. Mike McCarthy called every play. Brian Schottenheimer didn't do much of anything but hang with Dak. Dak likes him, so he's the head coach. Jerry likes him because he knows he can run over him, control him, order him around, veto him, put him back in his place.
Yeah, if you got a relationship with Dak, that's key of getting a job. If the quarterback rocks with you, that's all you need. You need that franchise player to believe in you. And then, of course, if you have Jerry Jones that believes in you, you're pretty much the head coach without being the head coach. They just made it official now.
Put him back in his box every Sunday night. He's the head coach. Brian Schottenheimer? I mean, I don't know if you know Monty Python, but they did this movie. They're funny guys. It's crazy British humor. You probably don't know them, but they did this thing, Life of Brian. They should do another one, The Life of Brian Schottenheimer. It's a satire. It's a joke. It's a comedy. Don't get me started. Brian Schottenheimer. We could have Brian Flores. I like Brian Flores. I thought he got a raw deal in Miami. He was out.
Flores would have been good, but he kind of played the race card and accused the Dolphins of doing things. Jerry Jones, he don't want to deal with that. So Flores may have shot himself in the foot by playing it that way in Miami. But at least, he'll be a solid defensive coordinator. He'll probably get an opportunity in the near future. But I wasn't checking for Flores with the Dallas Cowboys. Wasn't going to happen.
Out there is viable candidate. So let me just trace this back quickly for you. A year ago, we could have had Dan Quinn. He was sitting right under our nose.
Would have
Cap
been
on
great.
backwards. Cap on backwards. Dan Quinn. I know Shotty puts his on backwards, but Dan Quinn, cap on backwards, basically was the unofficial head coach, but he's pretty full of himself because he was a really good head coach for a while. In Atlanta, he got a team to 28-3 up on Brady and Belichick in a Super Bowl. Look at him now. Notice what he's doing in Washington? I don't know. They're playing
Would have been a
Philadelphia
great hire.
to get to the Super Bowl, Jerry. Could have had him. I thought he was right in line. They kept him a couple of years when he was big candidate in the head coach cycle. They kept him, gave him a big raise. I thought he was being kept on ice until Mike McCarthy finally ran his course in Dallas.
Yeah, the Cowboys, they missed out on a lot of great coaches. Like, you could have got Dan Campbell, could have got the coach of the Commanders. There was like 4 or 5 coaches over the last 2 or 3 years that the Cowboys could have got, but they just played it safe. Jerry played it safe. He wants a certain type of coach, and you got one with Brian, but you did miss out on a lot of great coaches during the recent cycles of the NFL.
And after we were down 27-0 in the first half of a home playoff game as the 2 seed against the youngest team in the playoffs, the Green Bay Packers, a year ago, I thought that was it. I thought game over. I thought Dan Quinn? Yeah, Dan Quinn. No, not.
Yeah, they should have got rid of Mike McCarthy after last season in the playoffs where they got destroyed by Green Bay. That's when they would have had the opportunity to get one of those coaches during that cycle. So again, man, the Cowboys, they always find a way to F things up.
Jim Harbaugh was out there. I beat the table for Jim Harbaugh. No, Jerry's
Another
not going to
good
go
one.
after Jim. He's too big. He's too strong. He's too powerful. He's made man. He's coming off a college championship. He's his own man. My way or the highway, Jerry. Sorry. I'm sorry. I have no idea how this happened. I'm looking at texts I'm getting from friends just laughing their asses off at me. Laughing their asses off, and they should.
It's going to be okay.
I would too. All the viable candidates were out there. I mean, obviously, Deion was a dream candidate. I kept telling you, Deion's not leaving Colorado. But even if Jerry enticed him, there's only one way Jerry could turn his head back to Dallas, where he was born to be the next coach of the Cowboys. He's going to have to give him total control. Not just money, but power.
Yeah, that's the thing with Jerry. Don't want to give up that power. It's one thing, he may make it look a certain way, but we already know behind the scenes, Jerry Jones, he going to really bully everything. He's going to be the GM, player personnel, whatever. It's going to be Jerry's world. But Deion would have been a great coach, a great hire if the Cowboys could have made that happen. Maybe that happened once Jerry Jones leaves and moves on to whatever. But as long as Jerry's there, you're not going to get a powerful coach, a powerful figure like a Deion Sanders.
Power, way more important in Dallas than money. No, because what if Deion came in and turned the culture on its head, turned the team around and won? Deion would get all the shine, all the credit, all the notoriety, all the attention. It would be Deion's world, and Jerry would be a little tiny sideshow, as he should be.
You don't want that.
At 82.
Got to retire, bro. It's time to leave. Leave it alone, Jerry.
Pete Carroll. Okay, he was overqualified for this job. He won a college championship. He won a pro championship. He turned cultures around. He's a fireball of energy, even at 73, going on 33. He would come in and say, enough of this country club. Focus on defense. Here we'd go. No, it's too big for Jerry. Too big a threat.
Not happening.
Too much aura, too much mystique, too much legacy. Nope. Ben Johnson's out there. Aaron Glenn's out. I liked Aaron Glenn. I don't see Ben Johnson. I think he's too mousy, but that's what I call Kellen Moore. And you know what? I'm sitting here tonight, distraught, lost, thinking
Sad.
I would have taken Kellen Moore in a heartbeat over Brian Schottenheimer. At least Kellen Moore went out there on his own. At least he learned with the Chargers, and at least he learned in Philadelphia how to get a team. It's a talented team. I picked him before the year, but in part because Kellen was there. He's really good at what he does. He can be a little mousy himself.
He
But
good
I'd
though.
take him over Brian Schottenheimer just because he's been there and done that. I hope they win. I picked him to win Sunday. Love to see Kellen Moore in the Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, but maybe Jerry started getting cold feet about Kellen Moore. Maybe he's getting too full of himself. Maybe he's getting a little too big for his britches, Jerry.
Yeah, anytime that someone shows that they got that energy, they got that vibe, Jerry's going to look a different way. So again, a lot of coaches that the Cowboys missed out on over the last few years, especially this coaching cycle. If you get the right coach in there with the players that you have now, this is an easy 10-win team. But if you if you change the play calls and maybe add some extra players, the Cowboys should be in the playoffs every single season. They just need a new culture. Don't know if Brian's going to be able to do that.
Jerry's thinking maybe he would start to be too big a threat to Gerald Wayne Jones Jr.,
True.
owner and operator of our Dallas Cowboys. We are stuck to death with Jerry Jones. Stuck. I'm watching texts come in as I speak, shaming me, ridiculing me. I don't blame him. Fire away. I deserve it. Brian Schottenheimer. Jerry's going to try to sell him. Mark my words. I told you this from the start. He's going to try to sell him as a chip off a great old block, old Marty Schottenheimer.
Yep, and that's exactly what Jerry Jones did in the press conference, basically standing on it like, I stand by this hire. He's going to do some great things. And then Brian Schottenheimer, he had to follow along, try to bring up the Super Bowl. So we're going to see if Brian Schottenheimer can possibly win the chip with Dallas. Going to have to do a lot more than that hire. If you want a puppet, that's cool, but at least surround him with some great coaches and a great staff. And we'll see if, Dak Prescott can get healthy, can have a top 5 or maybe an MVP-like season. Who knows? But best of luck, Skip. It ain't looking good for your Cowboys.